Hello, Internet. Thank you for tuning in to the Chad is a Great Show, and of course, I am your host, the Chad. So, my people, today marks a very wonderful day. Today marks the day when Star Trek Picard has finished its first season and, God willing, its last season. And I'm sure we're all happy to get here, but I'm certain we all want to remember the better days of Star Trek, and that's what this review is about today. So, I want to do two reviews today, discussing two of the finer works from the Star Trek literary universe. For those not to know, Star Trek literary universe was always considered non-canon, but had some truly, truly wonderful stories if you knew where to look. And we're going to be talking about one of them today. The first review that's up today is the Kindled version of Star Trek The Next Generation, Q&Law, written by Peter David. Now, I just want to give a bit of a biography on Peter David. Peter David is typically a comic book writer, but also a massive Star Trek fan. He's written several novels for Star Trek, from the original series all the way up to Deep Space Nine. His thoughts on Voyager are pretty well known if you've followed his career. He's also written comics. He's written for X-Men, X-Factor. He had a defining run on the Incredible Hulk. He is the one who came up with the character of the Professor Hulk, as well as other stories and books that he's created, as most notably among them, Star Trek New Frontier. So, with Q and Law, and sorry, I just want to get back for a moment to Peter David. He has two modes that he gets into. The first mode is very serious character drama, and the second mode is completely batshit insane. And there's times when he can write books where he goes in and out of both modes, and there are times when he writes either a serious book or a book that's just there to make you laugh for the lulz. Q and Law is undoubtedly the second. This would be a filler episode right up there with Let He Was Without Sin, The Magnificent Ferengi from Deep Space Nine. Pure filler episode, or Cupid from The Next Generation. Again, it's pure filler, absolutely non-essential, but still there to make you laugh, and it definitely does that. The story begins with on a planet called TNG, and with two feuding houses whose youngest children have come of age and decided to marry. I should say that the Romeo and Juliet parallels are blatant and made numerous times throughout the book, including the parents of the two young adults, and how their feud continues to arise, and how the Next Generation crew, who have been chosen to host the wedding, have to deal with them. And during the wedding reception, Picard's second worst nightmare in the universe shows up, Laxmana Troy. Now, Picard manages to deal with her well enough, very politely, and then his first greatest nightmare in the universe shows up, Q, dressed in an admiral uniform, and regaling the guests with hilarious stories of the Next Generation, of the Enterprise's crew's lesser moments, shall we say. Well, it's at this point that Picard has had all he can take and absolutely publicly loses his shit on Q, who dresses him down since he's dressed as an admiral, and then says, okay, let's go outside. At which point, he takes the argument outside the ship into space. So, and while he's out there, he just pretty much lets Picard know, bro, what is your problem? I'm just here to enjoy the food, the guests, and the party. By your own Federation charter, I'm an unknown and new form of life, and you need to let me on board to enjoy the party so long as they're willing to have me, right? And, of course, Picard is absolutely furious since Q has him. He really does. Picard can't do anything on this point. The guests were absolutely enjoying Q's stories, even though the Enterprise crew were not. And so Picard has to let Q stay. And over the course of the next few days, Q begins to cause up various types of mischief, not the least of which is dating Laxmana. And I'm going to end the summary by saying there's also a subplot which carries out through the story in which Wesley does a favor for the young couple, in which they present him with a slave girl that is naked 99% of the time and thinks he is the hottest thing ever. Yeah, and of course the joke is Wesley has absolutely no clue what to do with this. And so that is my summary for Q and La. Now my review is, it's an absolutely perfect story if you like fillers. It's completely non-essential, but it's hilarious in all the events that happen. And the characters. This is the most important thing in any story, that the characters are written true to the series, in which Peter David does a magnificent job with the Next Generation crew. This was one of his first outings, and he just manages to nail everyone, especially Picard and Q. And his trademark humor is in full effect all throughout the book, and while there's some very heartfelt and touching and very sweet moments, and of course there's a Picard speech near the end, the book never loses sight of what it is. Just a silly little filler episode which is there to have a lot of fun and make sure you enjoy reading it, but also still manages to stay true to what Star Trek is. And so I can't say enough good things about this book. If you are a Star Trek fan, I absolutely recommend hitting the Kindle, dropping down to $10 on this. You will not regret it. It's absolutely a better investment than what the CBS subscription service has been. And so it's also available in audiobook format, absolutely free for when you sign up for it. So I can't recommend this story enough. If you love Star Trek and you love Q and you love the Next Generation, you just want to get back to the old days when it was just so on its game, Q and Law will take you back there, absolutely, and help to wash away the bad feelings that Star Trek Picard has left us with. So this has been my first review today. I am going to be uploading a second review later on. I want to thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And if you liked the video, leave me a comment, leave me a like. And if you didn't, hey, let me know why. Since we're still growing the channel, I'm still trying to get a sense of the format which I want to upload these reviews. And I'd really appreciate some very constructive feedback from anyone who has some to give. Thank you so much. May you all live long and prosper, because we know CBS Star Trek will not. Take care.